Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest installment of the Muddled Thoughts podcast. I am one of your hosts for this evening. My name is Zach, and I am joined by none other than...
I'm Ryan.
And Max.
Excellent,
I didn't need
boys.
to put the I'm in
Excellent.
there, but whatever.
Flawless intro.
Fantastic. Thanks again for joining us for part 2 of our hybrid theory analysis and episode 2 of season 2. Lots of twos going on in this episode. So I'm excited to get back into hybrid theory again. Totally not recording this in the same day. Absolutely not.
No chance.
No, never.
But before we get back into everything here, what are you guys drinking? Did you change up your drink orders from the first part?
Not so much. No.
No? No?
Nope.
Zach, what was it that
Still
you gave me
rocking.
like 2 seconds ago? Some rum, but whiskey aged barrel.
Yeah. So Max and we're dabbling with Twisted Path again. I also purchased a dark rum from them, so it's their white rum that they have. So it's very similar to like a Bacardi. Very little spice to it, but it is aged in whiskey barrels. I don't remember the exact type of barrels, but it has a real nice caramel color to it, and I would say that it's more like a whiskey than it is a rum. I would say.
have to agree.
What, Ryan? What's your problem?
I'm just listening. Nothing. Continue.
Yeah, you're real upset with my description?
I'm trying to figure out how those were aged. A dark rum? Dark rum. Never mind. It's not.
No, you can't
important.
see.
You can kind of see it from out here.
It's like okay. So okay. So it's like a gold rum, I would call it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. But
Nevertheless, it's good. It's good. I enjoy it.
I just wanted to say that when you come up for my birthday, you better have a little bit of that left. Both of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll be sure to bring some with.
We'll do a little taste analysis.
Yeah, I hope I don't go through everything that I have. I got 2 bottles of the rum because I liked it so much.
Okay.
The rye whiskey I had last time was a little bit pricier, so I only got one smaller one of it, but I should still have some left by the time we're up by you.
That'll be our drink order for the in-person episode.
Absolutely. Cool. So we're back into hybrid theory, yeah?
Yeah, we got a lot to dive into still here.
Yeah, let's get right back into it then. First song on the list is With You.
To the cold of the static, put my cold feet on the floor. God, I'm about yesterday. Remembering, I'm pretending to be where I'm not anymore. A little taste of hypocrisy, and I'm left in the wake of the mistake. Slow to react, even though you're so close to me. You're still so distant, and I can't bring you back. It's true, the way I feel.
Yeah. Like I said before,
Just
when I
leaving
was
some
reading
space
the wrong
for the music cut.
when I was reading from the wrong stupid notes, this song touches on the mental struggles of being in a close relationship but growing apart.
Right. And before we even get into the lyrics, I thought it was important to note the intro to the song. There's a lot of different scratching from the DJ.
Now recording.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, now Craig is in.
Oh man, he's gone rogue.
Oh. But he's not recording, he says. Alright, well, yeah.
I'm in, but I'm not recording that. You gonna cut this? You gonna keep it in? Oh, there we go.
I just kicked him.
Did you kick him from the server?
No, just from the chat.
Oh, okay.
So I cut it out. I'll
Okay.
All right, we're back. Before we even get into the song, the intro is pretty cool. It's a lot of scratching from the DJ. Mike should, yeah, right? No, not Mike. Han, yeah, Mr.
No,
Han.
yeah, Johan.
There's a lot of scratching, and I think it kind of mimics all the different messages we were talking about last time, where you have all these different feelings and stuff that are coming to like a climax, but that's how the DJ scratches go, where it's kind of just like a lot of low different sounds, but then it finally like surmounts to this kind of a scream at the very top of the song, which I thought was an interesting way to start. So yeah,
It's
pretty cool.
different because, the first couple scratches are very sporadic, not really on the same line as the rest of the song. So I feel like that has kind of I don't know, it adds to the personality that we were talking about on the last part of this episode.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys? So before we get into the song, did you notice any themes of like almost like a past and present, or like a contrasting point of view in this song at all, or did you think it was all told at the same time? Because I got kind of like two different viewpoints that came across in this.
I agree with that, yeah. I feel like it was kind of a roller coaster situation.
Okay.
Kind of up and down.
I didn't get any of that in my notes, but I guess I could see where you're coming from.
All right, well, maybe let's get into it and see if we can flesh it out a little bit more. So first we've got, I've woke up in a dream today to the cold of the static and put my cold feet on the floor. Forgot all about yesterday. Remembering I'm pretending to be where I'm not anymore. A little taste of hypocrisy. So already some pretty strong lyrics we've gotten right here. So kind of like, I think I took it as that they're like painting a picture of where they're at now. Like they're in the present, right? They've woken up from a troubling night or something, and they're just trying to kind of deal with what they have now, even though the past maybe wasn't so great.
Yeah, the line to the cold of the static makes me think that it's kind of a foggy wake up. Like they're trying to forget what happened the night before, or they're unable to remember what the night before.
Maybe because of like drug use or something.
Or, well, yes, for this band, yes, but in most cases, yeah, I mean, whatever you want to attribute it to, yes, just a fog, maybe a fun night out that wasn't supposed to happen, or an intentional fog. I don't know.
Yeah. So now we go into I'm left in the wake of the mistake. Oh boy.
Craig?
Oh.
No, Craig.
Hello? We good? I think we're good. Okay. Next lines are...
Producer says yeah.
Next lines are, I'm left in the wake of the mistake, slow to react, and even though you're so close to me, you're still so distant, and I can't bring you back. So, man, clearly, whoever's singing this, like, made some kind of mistake in the past that caused their relationship to stop and, like, deteriorate in some way. What do you guys think?
Right.
So yeah, when you're saying past and present, like there's two different timelines within the song. I think yeah, there was like a past incident that like the main character went through,
Hmm.
and then he's reflecting on that. Because I was saying something in my notes about how he's suffering through a burden that he feels guilt and sadness for when he like remembers somebody that he lost, like a loved one or something.
Hmm. That's what I took it to be, is like a relationship with a loved one, or maybe not like a loved one, but like a lover, like a significant other. I think.
Yeah.
It's like a betrayal of trust and then trying to regain that trust.
Mhm.
And just really struggling to rekindle that, even though the significant other is growing more and more distant.
Mm-hmm. That last line in there, "You're still so distant, I can't bring you back." Just
Yeah, it just really speaks to the struggle of trying to rekindle the love, and I feel like there's like a sense of regret almost.
mm. These first two verses are really painting like a picture of them laying in bed, right? And that person is no longer next to them, right? Like there's that empty space next to them, and that regret that you're talking about, Ryan. It's there because of the emptiness. It's both emptiness of how they feel inside, but then also physically, like there's nobody there
Right.
with them.
Yeah. It's the need to move forward, but yet the longing for the past at the same time.
That's a good segue, because the next couple lines are kind of that longing for the past that you're talking about. Ooh, that's a good ASMR.
Yeah.
Ooh, always been an ASMR.
Unintentional.
This has always been an ASMR podcast. We just didn't know it yet.
Closet ASMR.
So Chester now. Can't hear it, Max. Sorry. Nope.
I'm spilling.
Well, the noise gate was too good.
Noise gate on fleek.
Did you get some on the microphone?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
So Chester now says it's true, the way I feel was promised by your face, the sound of your voice painted on my memories, even when you're not with me. I'm with you. So yeah, now just an echo. The lover's like face and voice haunt the person that's singing's like memories, and they recall how life must have been like simpler for them. But like even just the person's face now has such a significant effect on the person that's singing's emotions. It's like almost unhealthy at this point. It's kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can kind of feel this verse. You know, you have that longing for someone, kind of develop a relationship, quote unquote. I guess you would call it a crush. That's what I get kind of from this verse, is just, you know, wanting to be with someone and everything about them reminding you of it.
So-
But
Do you think that this relationship was like super serious, or was it more superficial and like kind of like young love type of deal? What do you think?
I feel like it was more of a young love situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of get that vibe
because
too.
I feel like a true relationship, a true actual love relationship would not be portrayed in this, this way, I guess. I don't.
It seems superficial because he keeps talking about like the sound of your voice and the look of your face, like things that
Yeah,
are
it's
real
almost like
superficial.
It's almost like a one-sided longing or a lust, like a lustful relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, up to this point, it does seem very one-sided. Like, we don't know anything about the other person. We just know that the singer has like a real dependence on them, or at least did at some point.
Right. Which, once again, just ties right into the whole theme.
What theme?
I mean, maybe the whole schizophrenia, paranoia, being
Oh, that
alone
theme.
theme.
Yeah, I
You
gotcha.
know, maybe longing for this person gives them a sense of accomplishment or a sense of, I don't know, they have something to shoot towards.
Maybe it acts like a pillar, you know, like
Right,
it's
yeah.
one point of solidarity in their life.
Right. It's something to round everything out, give them purpose, give them an end to their means.
Yeah, and I think as we're about to read, that things may have not been so so sturdy. I think so. Now we got Mike Shinoda coming back in. Actually, sorry. I forgot the whole chorus part. It's I'm with you. Now I see keeping everything inside with you. You now I see even when I close my eyes. So we pretty much already talked about that, but it's like this ever longing desire and like this dependence on this other person. You know? Even when they close
It's
their
like
eyes, they still see them.
yeah, once you end your day, that person is still the focus of your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You
Exactly.
can't push them out even when you're away from them.
So, okay. Second verse here. Mike coming back, like I said. I hit you and you hit me back. We fall to the floor. The rest of the day stands still. Fine line between this and that. When things go wrong, I pretend that the past isn't real.
Yeah, pause right there.
Yep. What you got?
So it's yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
um I'm trying to put this into words. So I feel like in this situation where you're longing for things that happened in the past, but yet at the same time you're trying to move forward. When things go wrong, so if you get into a situation where you want something new but still want to hold on to what was in the past, you really pretend that you just imagined everything that happened.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't even think of it that way. Interesting. That last line, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. When things go wrong, or pretend the past isn't real. So you want to pretend that you're happy with, in this case, probably someone else or outside of a relationship. Um, but when things go wrong, you're gonna revert back to where you were in your current relationship and just completely shut out whatever happened with the other person.
But at the same time, the second half of that, they pretend that the past isn't real. Like they want to go back to what it was, but the
But you
truth might
can't.
be, well, yeah, not only can you not, but it also might be that the past wasn't as good as maybe you thought it was either.
Right. But at the same time, it could be something that's equally as good or better. But
Now recording.
in order to preserve fucking Craig. But in order to preserve what you had before, you just completely block everything out.
So I think we did a good job unpacking that second half. But with the first half of this, I hit you and you hit me back. That whole line, is that an actual like physical abuse in this case? It's like actual
That's
physical actions happening, or is it emotional in nature? I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering, because hitting someone can be, you know, dialogue specific.
Mhm.
I
There's
mean, you hit me with
context.
truth is a phrase. It's contextual. Yeah. So I mean, it could be I give you the truth, you give me the truth, we meet in the middle, and then leading into the next part of it.
Or maybe it's like people saying something as like it's a truth about them, but it hits hard, right? Like you're just like your father, you know? That person doesn't want to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, the finger.
The finger wag.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with this whole thing is they did such a good job with the emotional aspect of these lyrics that I don't know what to think. Um,
And a lot of it, I think maybe that's part of the reason why they did what they did, is that maybe we're not supposed to know, but clearly we understand the overall message, but we're not given the specifics. And I think that's
right,
for a reason though too. You don't really need to know. And these are issues and problems that I think a lot of people have either been through or feel, and that's what they're trying to get to through the
right.
lyrics. They don't need to get hung up on all the specifics of the story that they're trying to tell.
Well, and I mean, the next part, now I'm trapped in this memory, and I'm left in the wake of the mistake, slow to react. Even though you're so close to me, you're still so distant, and I can't bring you back. It's like trying to figure out how to recover from fuck up,
Hmm.
but not knowing how to do it, and at the same time realizing that whatever you do, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
It's
like,
gone.
hmm it's almost like you have that fight, whether it be verbal or even physical, and like you're close to this person because maybe you're living with them or you're at their house, whatever. But that person's mind is somewhere else. They remember what you said or what you did, and even though you may be close to them physically, the emotional connection you have with them is gone, and that's what really is messing up the person that's singing the song, or like
Right.
the person's the point of view, I guess, in this case.
Right. Yeah. It's just the amount of emotional struggle that is portrayed in this album across all the tracks is
Mhm.
ridiculous.
So we're moving on. Again, we have some more repetition. It's true, the way I feel was promised by your face, the sound of your voice, painted on my memories. Even when you're not with me, I'm with you. You now I see, keeping everything inside, etc., etc. But then again, the last little piece I think comes in the bridge or the outro here. Says, no matter how far we've come, I can't wait to see tomorrow. No matter how far we've come, I can't wait to see tomorrow with you. So this is where I was talking about in the first episode, where we have all these like negative emotions and feelings, etc. But they managed to paint it in a positive light at the very end, as we go into like the end of the song. So they can't wait to see tomorrow with them. So even though they're in a shitty relationship, they still want to be with that person. And I don't know if that's good or bad, maybe in this case.
Right. I mean, I I mean, it's like they recognize the downfalls of the relationship, but still want to experience life with that person, no matter how dire it may be.
A commitment, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Better
the
for
love
worse.
is love no matter. Yeah, exactly. For better or for worse, the love is love no matter what happens.
At the same time, I
Through
have such
thick
a
and through
hard time
thin.
believing that, though. Like we said before, this is probably a relationship that just started. So, is it really like that much of love? Like, do you know for sure? That's a whole other question. Is like, do you really
I-
believe in love at first sight? Like, is that a thing? Like, I'm asking. That's not rhetorical. Like, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think?
Speaking from personal experience, yes, love at first sight is a thing.
Max?
No.
Yeah, well, yeah, Max.
No.
I mean, what, we were together for 6 months, Chels? Yeah, June to February. Yeah, we started dating on in June 10th, and I proposed to her on Valentine's Day of the next year. So love at first sight may be a real thing.
Yeah, 8 months ish.
Yeah, 9 months, and we were married the next November, so a year. And we've been married 4 years on Thursday. So yes, love at first sight is a thing.
Yeah, that's pretty fast. Pretty fast.
So yeah, and we have almost 2-year-old daughter. So
Yep. Man, time flies. Wow. Crazy.
yeah, you're telling me.
Max, though, not a believer in love at first sight, man.
I'm an anti. I don't necessarily deny it. I guess I just maybe haven't experienced it myself. But I guess I don't know. It's you can define. I guess you could define love and other aspects around that belief in different ways. But
I mean, everybody feels it different ways. It's not. I mean, my experience, Zach's experience, is not, anything to base your own goals off of. It's all subjective.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because, like, this is the love song, quote unquote, love
It
song
is.
on the album.
Yep.
you think so?
Well, of Linkin Park's discography, if Linkin Park had a love song, this is it.
Do you think there's another song that would be a love song on this album, Max?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I
Me?
didn't really listen past Meteora.
Yeah, you asked that question like you thought there was a different song that was a love song on here.
On Hybrid Theory, I don't think so. Because there's other songs, like I said in the first episode, about how there was abusive relationships and how that's a theme in some other songs. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess this one can be perceived as like a this is the most important love relationship I've had, and I lost it, and yeah, I guess I could see it in that perspective.
We could totally just be reading into this so too much, There is the option, I guess.
How does this make you feel?
Does it matter? Does any of it matter anymore? I don't know. All in all, that's pretty much all I really have on this song. It's
Yeah,
clearly it's somebody that's super dependent on the other person they're in a relationship with, and they're in it for better or for worse. That's really what I got.
Unfortunately, it's very cut and dry. It's very to the point.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm cool with that. Move on to the next one. All right, next up is Points of Authority.
Forfeit the game of where somebody else takes you out of the frame and put your name to shame, cover up your face. You can't run the race, the pace is too fast, it just won't last. You love the way I look at you while taking pleasure in the awful things you put me through. You take away if I give in. My life, my pride is broken. You have to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do. You love the things.
Damn, damn, pow. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you got something already?
Yeah. What's your general feeling about this song? Like, what do you feel the theme is?
So, hold on. Oh,
I was gonna say, it's like I was saying about some of the other songs. I think this is one of the songs that talks about an abusive relationship between two people.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
feel like.
Go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No, you go ahead.
No.
nope,
Oh, okay.
nope.
All right. All right. Um, I'm gonna agree with Max. I feel like this song is about the mental war and like the mental war between two people and the wear and tear of being in an abusive relationship with a narcissistic person. Um,
Yeah, I think that plays directly into the name of the song, Points of Authority, right? You have two
Right.
people in this relationship, and they each feel like they're justified in their point of view. Now, their point of view,
Right.
their experience, that is their authority in the relationship. These are my experiences and what I think, so therefore, what I say is correct, to me at least.
right.
Even the
feel like
first.
this- Go ahead, Max.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say the first line even is pretty direct about forfeit the game before somebody else takes you out of the frame and puts their name to shame. Basically, I wrote like stop playing around before you get dumped and end up with someone who won't treat you the way I do. That's how I.
Yeah.
I
that
took it the
is-
other way.
Yeah.
I thought it was like intrinsic, like the person, like whoever the singer is, they themselves feel that they're inadequate in the situation. Like they would rather give up and forfeit the game and let somebody else step in rather than lose, I guess, or like have to go into like a competition. That's how I took it.
Yeah, I saw it as the subject of the song is most likely reliving / passing on past abuse.
Say that again.
Yeah. It's past
They're
abuse.
reliving / passing on past abuse. So like they're taking what they experienced and turning around to a new relationship and reciprocating it.
Ah, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I can
So
see that.
they take what they went through as what a relationship is supposed to be
Mm.
and then pushing it forward, and that's how they live their life because that's all that they've known.
Ah. Yeah, that's not good. Doesn't sound good at all.
That's what I get. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's your interpretation, man.
Well,
Neither
the
right
fact
nor
that you
wrong.
said that's not good is not real reassuring to me.
I meant like that's not good as like from a relationship standpoint. Like that's not a very good thing to do if you're in a
No,
relationship.
no.
Like
No.
no, I'm not saying your interpretation isn't good. I wouldn't say that.
I'd be be okay if he did, because in some situations it'd be accurate. But yeah, I feel like that kind of relates to this whole album analysis. Is it's more of a personal interpretation than anything.
It's interesting to note the like differing speeds of the verses too in the song.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
I don't know if it was I I didn't really find anything that like helps convey the story. I think it might have just been like a stylistic choice because you have Mike Shinoda doing this fast like rapping parts, and then it kind of slows down in the next verse. So Max already read a lot of the first part of it.
Yeah. Which I'm curious what you guys think of that next line. The cover up your face. You can't run the race. The pace is too fast. You just won't last. Is there any text behind that, you think?
Cover up your face. You can't.
Pace is too fast. You just won't last.
To me, that means you want to just hide yourself because you can't compete with the normal scene. What that means, I have no idea. Be completely honest with you, but that's a really good question, Max.
I think it has to do with like exploring your own emotions in the relationship. Because so the race or cover up your face, you can't run the race. The pace is too fast. So the pacing like in relationships you hear like, "Oh, I think we're going like too fast." Like people
Yeah,
have all
like
these
he's
emotions.
because I think the theme, because we're talking about how there are 2 points that are trying to justify, 2 people are trying to just be justified, and when you get into the chorus, you see that he's trying to be, he's trying to blame the other person. You know, you think you're never wrong, but like maybe that race is, yeah, I'm too good for you, maybe.
Could be. Like maybe
I
the
don't-
person's more emotionally mature and like they're ready to go and commit to this, but the other person isn't.
Yeah, maybe.
But why would you cover up your face though? I mean,
So I think that goes back to what I was saying before with the person who's singing it, you know, they feel like they need to concede at this point. Like they're basically what's the word I'm looking for? They're not good enough, inadequate, incompetent. Like they're just
Okay.
not able to commit to the relationship in the same way that the other person is.
okay,
All right.
I gotcha.
Next, they say, "You love the way I look at you, while taking pleasure in the awful things you put me through. You take away if I give in. My life, my pride is broken." Damn. They're broken at this point. It's almost like they're putting themselves through the pain of being in this relationship just to be with this person still. Kind of like the last song. Or yeah, that was the last song.
It's funny
Mhm.
because you're talking about how the speed, the tempo of their singing changes
Mhm.
because the intro is very fast, very um kind of full of
Oh.
yourself ish.
Yeah.
And then once the verse comes in, it's more like slowed, more like you're reflecting almost.
Yeah. Maybe it's the 2 people in the song. You know, like they're trying to lyrically or like in the song they're trying to convey how the other person is. I think maybe I was wrong before. Like that first part is the one person, the fast part. You know, they're willing to go like fast in the relationship. But then the other lines that are slower, that's the second person. Or in case probably the singer, you know, the person that has the
Maybe.
dependency on them.
Or maybe the intro is his voice in his head,
I like
because
that.
the whole album's been going about having voices in your head, and then the verses are actually the main character, the guy in this situation.
Oh, dude, whole nother level. I like that too.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many ways you could
Right.
interpret this.
Because the intro could be his internal voice bringing him down, and then the verses, he's thinking about it, like, oh, you love the way I look at you, and then the chorus is when he starts thinking about actually how she did him wrong, or and so that kind of context.
You're saying like you like to think you're never wrong, that part?
Right. Yeah. How they argue and have disagreements.
Yeah, the chorus here is you like to think you're never wrong, and it's echoed by you live what you've learned after every single line. You have to act like you're someone, live what you've learned. You want someone to hurt like you. You live what you've learned. You want to share what you've been through. You live what you've learned. Yeah, I think that makes more sense in the context of like the voice in his head, right? Like it's almost selfish. Like he wants the other person in the relationship to understand where they're coming from, even though they're almost like recognizing the pain that comes along with it, which is, again, not good. It's not a good thing to do, unfortunately.
So the thing I wrote underneath, you like to think you're never wrong, you live what you've learned, said that the other person in the relationship is hypocritical by never owning up to their mistakes and the abusive behavior towards the main character in the situation, even though the other person has been treated that way by someone else.
Yeah, it's like a failure to accept responsibility for their own actions.
Right.
Yeah, I had down here that so the main lines in the chorus communicate that even though the situation they find themselves in sucks, they're really looking for someone that they can share those feelings with. And I guess I wrote down I wasn't sure if it was just like verbally or like through the situation, but either way, it's selfish, right? They're refusing to accept responsibility for their actions, and it's all about them. Even though there's pain with it and they recognize that there's pain, they don't want to do something about it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so next couple lines here, we've got you love you love the things I say I'll do, the way I hurt myself again just to get back at you. You take away when I give in. My life, my pride is broken. Again, another couple of heavy lines we got going on here.
Yeah, it's like the verses are trying to make him justify staying with this person, I think. In a way. Not like justify, but he kind of reflects on his own mental state, how he's been making it work, I think. Keeping them together. I don't know how to word that properly.
I think you're right there, Max. Because the first line, you love the things I'll say I'll do. The person is like making up excuses or saying that they're gonna get better when they know deep down that they're really not going to, and in turn they're just gonna hurt that person again. So yeah, they're again, it's a selfish stance, and they're like making excuses just to keep things going.
Yeah. I don't know. That's pretty much all I got from that verse, though. I just, like I was saying, the verses just seem very reflective in a love kind of way. When you care about somebody, even though the relationship might be very against the grain, there's always still like a time where you're like, okay, well, why am I here? Why am I still trying to make this work? versus the choruses where they're like, well, this is why this isn't working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got these conflicting viewpoints, but again, they're in the relationship and they want to try to make things work for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that too. You find yourself in a relationship and things suck, but you're holding on to a lot of like the different past feelings that you've had and like the good parts of it. But find yourself in a tough situation a lot of the time too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna go on to the bridge, because the bridge is like repeated twice. Like
Yeah,
he's telling himself over and over again.
The real fast part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I actually didn't write any more notes for this song because I think it's still doing the same thing. But you're right; it is repeated twice.
Which I think it's actually something, again, because I didn't write many notes for this past that either, but I think it does relate to thinking that it has to do with his own mental thought process, it's like forfeit the game, before your name gets put to shame. I think it's just almost putting himself down in that situation.
It's self-deprecating for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan, you're back and in the dark.
I am. Well, yeah.
Did you have any?
Ta-da!
Ta-da. Did you have any final notes on this? I think we talked this one to death, man. We really went in on this one. Lots of themes of love and relationships and.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to touch on. Yeah, I really feel like just the whole overall feel of the song is just the mental wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just the points of authority just kind of, suggests a lot of and I don't even know. A lot of power struggle, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good overall theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's power struggle of the two people in the relationship. Their situation sucks, but in this case, the person singing is like holding on to the relationship because of some of the good things that they have, despite all the negatives.
Right. Yeah. Ignore the bad, embrace the good, keep it going.
All right. Cool. All right, get ready for the memes. We're on to number 5, Crawling.
Fear is out.
seems like a long time.
Just imagine 2 years in between something not only just recorded but released, and then you get, recognized for your work. Like, hey, here you go. And then we're gonna talk about how the song isn't really anything about like positive.
Mm-hmm. Like it must. So the time period between when it was released and actually getting recognized suggests that it had some kind of cultural impact, or like it gained traction elsewhere, that it deserved recognition for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. This I actually only wrote one note for this song. Because I think that the messaging in this one is probably the most straightforward out of all the different songs on the album. But I'm curious to hear if you guys have more information than I did.
Ryan, do you have notes for anything in Crawling?
I actually have quite a few notes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I actually have quite a few notes. Yeah.
Why don't you lead us then? You can read the
Um,
lyrics and everything.
Let me pull the lyrics up.
But
Oh, boy.
basically, seems like the overall synopsis of this is basically, it seems that Chester wrote this song primarily. I think we could all agree on that because
Yeah.
Mhm.
seems very connected to his battle with drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing was this song just screams mental illness. I mean, paranoia, dementia, mass confusion, multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
I feel like it really touches on it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it echoes a lot of the themes from Paper Cut from the very first song. Again, Ryan, like you said, the schizophrenia thing, like just the name of the song, Crawling, like not so. Unlike an emotional level, they're going much slower because everything's so clouded. But then also crawling in the sense of like an actual being or like a physical person. Again, that separation of who they are and where they are at emotionally. Like they're personifying their emotions with an entirely different being altogether.
Right. I mean, I know my second bullet point was a deep issue that is tearing the subject apart and slowly eating away at their sanity. I mean, this whole song kind of hits me as they don't really know what to do, but it's all happening whether they know what to do or not. I mean, this lack of self-control I fear is never ending. That's a line in one of the verses, and that kind of epitomizes the entire song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
they have no ability to control their emotions or thoughts. They're lost within their own brain and overburdened, losing touch with their true self and trying to find out who they are while trying to regain a grip on reality.
Mm-hmm. So one of the lines kind of midway through the song, and that like this is probably my favorite couple lines, is discomfort endlessly has pulled itself upon me, distracting, reacting. Against my will, I stand beside my own reflection. It's haunting how I can't seem to find myself again.
Yep.
Like those lines, man, it's that whole feeling. It's exactly what you were just saying, right?
It's just being lost in your own thoughts and not knowing what's going to happen next. It's
It's almost like your self-image isn't exactly what is the reality. There's a lot of self-doubt, lack of self-control, and a lot of doubt in yourself.
And to further reiterate on your point of schizophrenia, Ryan, like just the music in this song is very kind of like spooky, I guess.
right.
It's like I don't know, it's like very, I don't know, I don't want to say it's like synth heavy, but it's like upper register, kind of like echoey, almost like you're inside somebody's head, is how I want to describe it.
Well, okay, I don't know. I'm gonna get really personal here for a second. Um, a couple members of my family suffered from schizophrenia. It's a very real issue. A lot of the thematic elements in these songs that are portrayed are very real. Um, it's really like there's another person in your head. Um, very hard to deal with, even under um, the highest strength medication, I guess I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to deal with. So,
Yeah,
it's not really a thing to be taken lightly. It is a very real illness.
mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
portraying those elements in this song is really a big stretch as far as trying to educate the audience on real world problems, I guess I would say.
Yeah, this whole album is a testament to that. I think it's trying to convey those feelings and thoughts and emotions of schizophrenia, anxiety, paranoia, all these different things that are, in some cases, yeah, it literally consumes somebody's life and they no longer feel like they once were. And I
Right.
think, personally, I think that it does a very good job of communicating those feelings. But like you said, Ryan, the fact of the matter is that I think for a lot of people, they'll never really truly know what it feels like. Like
Right.
like you said, it's a very serious illness, and you can do everything to medicate for it, but I guess
It's still always going to be there.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
there, right? Those are some of
And
the
a lot
things
of
we talked
people
about before.
Yeah. And a lot of people use these terms very freely. You know, they just think that mental illnesses are just something to be scoffed at, but they're very real things. I mean,
Hmm.
it's not just something to be used comically or, anecdotally or however you're going to throw them into conversation.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have a whole lot more to add for this song because I think that kind of sums up what this song is about. If you guys have anything more
Yeah.
you want to add, I mean, go for it. But that's all I
I
got.
I apologize for throwing the negative into that, but
No, it's more
a
enlightening.
personal reference, really. So
Yeah, I agree. It's more enlightening than anything. It's not really negative in my eyes.
Because I think it
it
is.
was.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Max. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it's not very popular. Everyone knows about it, but there's not a lot of people that suffer with it than a lot of people might think. So it's cool that a major band and a major album has released something like this. Not a lot of people are doing what we're doing by interpreting and evaluating the lyrical content this deeply. But it's cool to still
Right.
see something like this get on like the radio and people can relate to it, even though maybe it might not be one to one, but they can still get a lot of feelings out of it, you know?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just touching back on the schizophrenia thing. That was something that really kind of haunted my early 20s. Was hoping that I wouldn't fall into the same downward spiral, I guess I would say. Um, something that skips generations. I loved my grandpa dearly, but it was something that affected him a lot. So yeah, just something that really kind of scared me for the future. I guess I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would be scared too. Could not
So-
imagine having to go through something like that.
That's all I got on that. But
Very real real couple of songs we got
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
What do you think, guys? Do we
I was
wanna
hoping I
do-
wouldn't. I was hoping I wouldn't dive into that connection, but you know.
I think it's inevitable with a song that's so real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that's bound to come up. Sometimes it's good to let it out, though. You know. Yeah.
Yep.
We kind of saw that with a lot of these songs. Keeping those emotions pent up inside can do more harm than good. In some cases, so it's good to talk
Right.
about them. What do you think, guys? We're around that hour mark right now. Do we want to do one more, or we good cutting it here? Got through 3 songs.
I'm good at doing one more. It's up to you guys.
Max?
We'll just do like a
Max?
quick. We can just do a quick, or not necessarily quick, but just a run through. Runaway.
Ha! Run through Runaway.
Ha 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 ha.
All right. Let's get into the next song on our list. Number 6, Runaway.
Graffiti decorations under a sky of dust. A constant wave of tension on top of broken trust. The lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. Now I find myself in question.
They point the finger at me again.
Guilty by association.
You point the finger at me again.
I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind. Paper bags and angry voices under a sky of dust. Another wave of tension has more than filled me.
So who is the blamer, though? That's the question, right?
That is the question. Yeah, we never really get a sense of who the second party is in these songs.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's not a name. Like, it's not Eileen. Or
Right.
Like-
yeah. Come on, Eileen, which is dirty or not dirty, depending on how you want to take it.
yeah, it's so. I think it's left ambiguous like that on purpose, though.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know that they wanted to really tie down any particular person in these songs. I don't know why, I guess. I don't have an
Yeah,
idea as to that, but
Like we said in the first part, I think it goes back to the fact that multiple people had their hand in how these songs were written. So if somebody were like, if you were to put a name or you were to use a situation that was super specific, it would be like it was just coming from one member of the band, which
Right.
is fine. But like you said, everybody in the band has been given credit for these songs. So everybody had something to say at least. So maybe they kept it that way just so that it wasn't all coming from one person per se.
I think
Right.
this song specifically was a good example of the whole band contributing to lyrical content.
yeah. Yep. Definitely.
All right, hold on. We got to pause for a second. Pause the recording. Yep. Okay, we're good. Okay, so with Runaway, so yeah, we were talking about the different, like, it's like where the blame is coming from in this case, right? One line that I wanted to ask you guys about, it's So it says the lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. So to me, I took that as like there's a mentor figure in this. Like I took it as a story of like somebody that they thought was important to them and they betrayed them and like just quickly turned on them. So like I almost took it like a group of friends is what I thought.
But
Yeah,
on
I
that
think it-
point, is it a group of friends or is it like relationship improvement?
Relationship, did you say improvement or improvement?
Yeah, improvement. So like, is it from a significant other, like trying to rebuild what once was, or is it an external source?
And I want to say external source case. I don't know that this is so much lover anymore. I feel like this is more friend group or like
No.
how other people outside that relationship are viewing that person now.
You think this is post relationship decline consultation?
Yeah. Yes and no. Maybe. I really don't know.
Maybe.
It's hard. It's hard to know. I think it may be simultaneous or like you said, yeah, after the relationship and in decline.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm just there's a lot of thoughts that I have about all these tracks and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it really relates to a lot of real life situations.
Mm-hmm. Either way, I think it's betrayal, right? I think we can all agree that there's some kind of betrayal going on with this.
Yeah, on one side or the other, yes. I feel like it's kind of a collapse.
Like the whole finger pointing lines in this, where now I find myself in question, they point the finger at me again, guilty by association. Just sounds like, you know, something came up in this group of people or with this person, and they were real quick to pass the blame, and
Right.
they just took it as like a betrayal. Like, think if you were in a group of friends and someone's like, oh, this so and so started dating this person, or they went and hung out with this person and didn't tell the rest of us. You know, is that actually true? And then they get like ratted out or made to be the villain by that other person. And it's all downhill from there.
Oh, and that's the one thing that I wonder about this is, the guilty by association line. Is it an affair? Is it
Ooh, affair, love triangle.
I don't even know. I mean, guilty by association could mean just a plethora of things. I mean, it just throws a whole nother angle on this entire situation.
Mhm. Let's keep moving here. The chorus part of the song is, I want to run away, never say goodbye. I want to know the truth instead of wondering why. I want to know the answers, no more lies. I want to shut the door and open up my mind. So the last part, or the last line of that, I'm a little confused by, but I think the first part is pretty straightforward, where clearly they don't want to be with the person or the people, I guess, that they were with anymore. But they want to know why they did exactly what they did still, like why this betrayal
Right.
happened in the first place.
Yep.
So it's, and then, and open up my mind. I don't know what to think about that. Do you guys have any insight on that line?
I want to run away and open up my mind. I feel like it's an escape from the past situation. But yet longing to know why it happened. Being out of the relationship, you can kind of process the situation outside of being blinded by the love and the affection.
Mhm. Yeah.
So without those emotions, you can read situations differently. So I feel like It's almost reading it outside of the relationship and realizing why you were in what you were in.
Get that. Max, any thoughts?
I guess the only really thing I interpret that last line is someone who wants to reflect on their own thoughts on where they fit in society versus what is expected of them.
But hearing the line, "I want to know the truth," instead of wondering why, it makes me feel like they were lied to be manipulated into staying into the current situation.
Ooh, so a little bit of ulterior motives going on.
Yeah, so the significant other was kind of forcing them to stay in the relationship, but they want to know the truth and what was happening outside and what the significant other was hiding.
I can see that, yeah. And I really interpret it as like a mentor figure, but I can see how the significant other, like a lover, would actually fall into this as well. I think it could be either or. I'm not quite sure which one though.
That's the problem with this entire album is it's either or.
And also, like we've been saying, like I think it's done that way on purpose, though, so that the people listening can kind of apply it to their own situations as well. You know, it's not meant to be one single story. It's meant to relate to everybody that is listening as well. So,
Right.
so next we
Once again, it's connection.
Absolutely.
Right, go ahead.
I was just gonna move on to the next part, and we're getting so in depth with this. Spending so much time.
I know
with it.
it's
all good.
It's horrible.
So the next couple lines here are paper bags and angry voices under the sky of dust. Another wave of tension has more than filled me up. All my talk of taking action, these words were never true. So I wanted to I underlined sky of dust because sky of dust is like it comes up a couple times in a couple different songs. And I'm pretty sure the sky of dust is a descriptor for the singer's own mind, like the cloudiness inside of their own head because of all the different emotions that they have going on. So I think that's
Right.
what they're talking about here. But then again, the second half of it, them talking about taking action, where it's almost like the relationship part that we had with you. You know, all these different improvements or changes that they say they're going to make the relationship work. I think that comes here too, as well. You know, they're going to take action and do something about it, but they end up never doing it as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if there's a fear in there, kind of an anticipation. I'm wondering if it's actually going to work out the way it was planned. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I get from that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, again, there's this whole situation of whether or not the people involved with this, again, had ulterior motives. Was it planned? Was it not? Who is the person involved? We don't really know. But the fact of the matter is that things have not changed, both in their, like, every aspect of their personal life. Things have not changed. And as the song suggests with Runaway, the second half of the song, I didn't really write a whole lot because it's super repetitive, but
Right.
in nearly every aspect of their life, things are cloudy, their emotions are getting the best of them. They feel betrayal in some way, and they just need to get away from the situation some way. Like they don't know what to do, but they want to physically run away from the situation at hand.
Yeah, I just feel like this album was less musical fame and more. I really feel like this album was produced just to help people that were in dire situations. Honestly, I mean,
Hmm.
the thematic elements of it don't really seem like it would be something that would produce a lot of money if it was just for popularity.
I gotcha. Yeah, like it was. I see what you mean. Where the album really wasn't meant to, just at its core, it wasn't meant to be super popular, right? Like it was meant
Right.
as
It
a
was just
service to the people.
it was more of a therapeutic recording rather than, just random bullshit scattered out into the musical universe.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I don't know. I obviously we have no idea if that's where it was headed, but that's what it did for me, and I feel like it did for a lot of people.
Hmm. Yeah.
From my age group.
It's totally fair. I think that goes with just about every other type of music too. It's like how you interpret it is, it's totally up to you, and it's totally as valid as the next person. And I appreciate that, especially with this music, is that it's really left up to the listener to decide what it is that they are going to take away from it. And doing a deep dive like this is fun because, again, have people that look at it from all different kinds of angles, and as a result, you're going to have tons of different interpretations too. So that's what makes music fun, and it also connects
Right.
people too with the stories that they tell.
It can be exhausting and it can be exhilarating at the same time. I mean, it's
I honestly feel exhausted right now. I
yeah,
feel
I
exhausted
agree.
after going through all this.
Going through my analysis like pre-episode was I felt like everything was going okay, and we jumped in and I had to elaborate on top of your guys' ideas, and nope.
Well, we're halfway through at this point. We're done with track 6, and we got 6 more to go. Do you think we can do it, guys?
6 more to go. Yeah, the latter half of the album kind of decompresses, so I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think the second half is a little bit more succinct. There's less to unpack. There's much better lines, though, in my opinion. I think
There are a lot of
there's a lot, like the lyrics, I think, get better in the second half. So I'm excited to get into that. But yeah, I think
they're Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I think we're at a good point to kind of take a break, recharge here, and get ready for the second half.
That's good to me.
What did you want to say before I so rudely cut you off, Ryan?
Yeah. So rudely. I just wanted to say the second half is it's lyrically sound. It really gets the point across, but it's not so complex. Like they did it in much more of a succinct manner.
Mm-hmm. The next song, sorry, 2 songs from now. In the End, that song, as popular as it is, I think that it's probably one of the more straightforward songs on the album, and the rest of the songs kind of follow suit.
The whole message of that song is, in the end, it doesn't really matter. Like that's all the. Sorry to ruin that, but that's all of the analysis. That
Spoiler.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Let's rewind, but spoiler alert.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry for ruining that, but no.
This was definitely one of the more real episodes of the Muddled Thoughts podcast, but can't have all episodes be, cheery and bright and on the top.
Right. Sometimes you just gotta dig deep and tell it like it is.
We definitely dig deep on this one, boys. We definitely dig deep. All right, well, that's about all I got. Anything else you guys want to add? I think that about does it, though.
There was one
Listen
thing.
to this album. Oh, go ahead, Max.
There's a note I passed over for Runaway. So there's an interview with Chester about the song particularly, and I pulled this quote directly. So he said, "I was a geek who thought I was cool. I didn't hang out with a particular clique, but different people from different cliques. I was a total nerd trying to fit in. Luckily, I found music that was my niche. That sort of took me out of my geekdom. I was never invited to parties as a teenager. I turned up with the popular people. That's where the lyrics to Guilty by Association come from."
Okay, so it does more so relate to friend groups then.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
I thought that would be something cool to end on, because that's very relatable to, I think, a lot of people who don't know where to fit in cliques.
It's okay, Max. We still love
Thanks.
Got him.
you. I'm just kidding.
Let's wrap it up. We're already way over time here. So
All right.
let's get out of here, people. Again, follow us on all the social
Deuces.
medias. We'll see you next time. Don't be guilty by association. We'll see you later.
Keep your glasses full. See you.
Don't be a simp.